There we go. Okay, so welcome to the stream. Is music volume good? Is my volume good? Let me know, because today is all about talking with you guys and myself. I will be uploading this to YouTube, I believe. So I'm just gonna ramble off a quick YouTube introduction, because I'll probably just crop out this beginning part and whatnot. Because I think it would be fun to have another video on my YouTube channel. So, hello! It's me, Typhloquill, and welcome to my ranking of all the classic Mario Party boards. Now, for those of you who don't know me that well, I play Mario Party on a more professional level. I am a part of the Level Up for Charity Mario Party League, which is the biggest and most official Mario Party competitive format that we have out there. Plus, I do speedruns, primarily of Mario Party 3, at least I used to, and I've been wanting to get back into it. But I also like playing casually. This tier list is not ranking the boards on a competitive format, because then a lot of boards would be excluded from this, because a lot of them are not, like, you know, friendly for that. I'm just gonna rank them on how I like them. That includes, like, aesthetics, music, board gimmicks, how I like to play, like, if they're fun. The main part is if they're fun. If it's not a fun board, it's gonna go an F. If I love the board, right up an S. And then everything in between, A, B, C, D. More positive is probably going to be SAB. Those are all, like, anything there is good. C is, like, average. I'm okay with the board. It's fine, I'll play it. But it's not great either. Like, I'm not enthused to play it. It's okay. D is for boards that I do not like. I think they're bad. Something's holding it back from being okay. And F is garbage. F is absolute garbage. So Battle Canyon F tier, got it. We're gonna get to that when we get to that. But yeah, and then like top tiers, S is I love the board. It's probably my go-to board for that specific Mario Party if it's in there. Everything about it I enjoy. And I got no problems with anything in S. A is, it's good, it's great actually. I just have, like, one thing keeping it back from being one of my favorites. And then B, it's good. B is just solid good. Not awful. It's just a good board. Okay, so to start out here, I actually do want to kind of rat things off to you. We have everything here from Mario Party 1 all the way up to the Superstars boards. I will be including all the Superstars boards as separate boards, because they're fundamentally, they're different than the originals. So if anyone in chat has suggestions for where we should start, give me a board. I'll take it first. I'll start asking you guys, and then I'll probably go to boards that I want to really talk about next. Go in order? Well, that's the thing. I don't want to go in order. Like, I kind of want to jump around a little bit, you know? And I want to get you guys involved, giving me suggestions for, where I should start. Randomize the game. No, I just want... Jax, just give me a board. Just give me a board. I will... Whatever board you tell me, I'll start talking about that one first. If you don't give me one, I'm just gonna pick one. Okay, we'll start with Clockwork Castle. Okay, so... Picture me, little, like, 7-year-old Typh, playing Mario Party 6, and I see in the star bank a 100-star thing for a board. And I wanted that board. I never unlocked the board. I unlocked, like, the taunts, I unlocked Toadette, I unlocked pretty much everything else. But I think as a kid, I never got to experience Clockwork. I might have maybe once, and then I stopped playing 6. But I never really got to play Clockwork. And then I grew up, and I hear, oh, Clockwork Castle's a great board. And I'm like, shit, I gotta get that board. So I load up my game, I unlock Clockwork Castle, play with some friends, have a decent time. And then I start playing... not play Mario Party. Now this is where most of my Mario Party kind of experience comes from, is just playing online with people. Mario Party Netplay has these great builds specifically made for Mario Party. I'll link them in the description of the YouTube video. Go check them out. They're fantastic. They get you hooked up with playing all classic Mario Party games online. Do not ask them for the ROMs. They will not give them to you, but they give you the emulators. That's how I met my fellow friend in here, Dax, in the chat. Most of my friends were met through the Mario Party Netplay Discord server. Go check them out. They're great. What is who? Yeah, I don't know, but Clockwork Castle. Yeah, I don't like this board at all. I'm sorry. You know what? I don't think it's F-worthy, actually. I'm gonna put it in D. It's not F because I think it's a board that people like, and I respect that. I think the gimmick can work. It's an interesting idea. I like how unique it is. You have, you know, Donkey Kong chasing you at daytime, trying to buy stars from him. Bowser chasing you at nighttime, run away. I think that's cool. But every time I play Clockwork Castle, I don't have fun. I don't. It's always like, whether like it's because I keep getting screwed over by the board or just, I don't like the board play. I think playing around with orbs on the board isn't very fun. It's mostly just, you know, move, 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 and that's a lot of Mario Party, but I feel like I don't really find myself really using the traps to their advantage. Paratroopa orbs on that board are especially bad. It's a bad orb in general, but I think on Clockwork, 99% of the time, if you put a Paratroopa down, it's going to backfire on you. I personally don't like the gimmick of having to chase Donkey Kong and Bowser around, and a big part of that is when you approach DK or Bowser, and you buy a star off of them, or a star, they teleport. And I think that's needed for the board. I think they need that to keep the board interesting, and from keeping it from just everybody who's happens to be standing around DK or Bowser just getting screwed and buying stars. That wouldn't, it would not work. But I still don't like it because, oh, I'm standing over here, I think I'm safe from Bowser. Someone hits Bowser, and they go right behind me, I lose my star, with no fault of my own. Which I know. It's Mario Party. Mario Party has a lot of that stuff that's no fault of your own, but I just don't like it here. I don't. The happenings aren't too interesting. You do have the pipes to be able to get around. I think that helps make it a little better with traveling the board instead of keeping it straight, but then you got the random shuffling, and then two of the pipes close at nighttime. I'm not a fan. That's a very unpopular opinion I have. I don't like Clockwork Castle, but it's not bad enough to go in the F tier. Alright, that was a bit long-winded, but yeah, Clockwork's just gonna sit right nice in there. What can go in the F tier, we're gonna stay a little negative for a second. It's my least favorite board. Pyramid Park. It's Snowflake Lake, but bad. It's boring. I don't typically like desert levels in games. Typically, we'll get to that. I don't like them. They're usually very dull and uninteresting. The music's... I think the music's not that good! MP7 does have some good music, like Pagoda Peak, that's a great song. I don't like the Pyramid Park music. The aesthetic is boring, the map layout is garbage. The board just devolves into people going to the left side of the board, buying a red chain chomp for 10 coins, which gives you 3 dice blocks, which can reach almost any space on the board, bar a few if you roll a 30. And it just involves spamming that red chomp and hoping you get the most stars out of it. That's really all it is. There's almost no reason to hang out on the left side of the board. Or the right side of the board, excuse me. dual spaces are hard to access. I think what part of makes Snowflake Lake work is the duels to counterbalance the chomp stealing. Because if you can't get any chomp steals, you can go for duels and get stars that way. I think that works wonderfully. We'll get to it, but Snowflake Lake I think is the best star stealing board. Pyramid Perk only has a couple duel spaces, and they're not easy. You don't see a lot of duels. You don't. Happenings are really uninteresting. You go to the other side of the board. It's Spiny Desert style. Whatever. I don't really have anything else to say about Pyramid Perk, except it just... Whenever I play 7, I'd play any of the other boards. But you're gonna have to do a lot of convincing to get me to play Pyramid Park with you. It's not good. And in fact, as we go along, maybe it won't be my least favorite board. I'm thinking a couple other boards I don't really like. But that's kind of the one I rag on the most when I'm talking with friends. It's not fun. How about we get some positivity in here? Talking about... Now that I got a couple negatives... Yeah, we could just go in order. We could just... Go type, let's be Pyramid? No. But yeah, I think with that, we can go in order of, Tycoon Town is a fun one. Ooh, yeah, actually, I was gonna say go in order, but since, Ball in here brought up one, talk about Koopa's Tycoon Town from 8. Fantastic board. It's the same idea as Windmillville. You have to invest to be able to get stars by putting your coins into buildings. But I think the gimmick is a lot better in Koopa's Tycoon Town, because instead of having certain designated buildings that have 2 stars, 3 stars, 1, you have to invest more coins to be able to get it up. I believe it's like 20 coins for a 2-star hotel and 50 coins for a 3. Exceptions are the lucky spaces. And I really like that, because then you have to think about how much money you're putting in instead of just, hey, I'm gonna put in, like, 21 coins because my opponent put in 20 to make sure I take it over. Because you could, like, you know, if you want to get a 3-star, you could put in some more money, or you could put in even more if you want to make sure you hold on to that 3-star. And yeah, like Ballin said, board design is better, it's very open, you get to go, the aesthetics are really cool, you're just in this nice little city, you have to look across the street for the cars, DK picks you up in a car? That's amazing. That is fantastic. The one thing kind of holding it back from S for me is those lucky spaces. Because there's 2 of them that are both 3 stars. And if you get that lucky space, you're pretty set for the rest of the game unless somebody else can get there. Now, you can get there, you can use slow goes to get there. You might just get lucky and get another one. You might not get one at all. So, but it's more inaccessible than the 3-star windmill in Windmillville. But I think Koopa's Tycoon Town is probably the best board in Mario Party 8. It's very fun, very, very lively. Again, Donkey Kong in a car, that's amazing. And I think it just improves upon what Windmillville first set out to do. And then speaking of Windmillville, let's go to that next. It's okay. Windmillville's okay. My one problem with Windmillville is the forced junctions. Now, if a board has forced junctions, we'll get to Mario Party 4. That's a big downside for me. Because it takes a lot of what I like about Mario Party is being able to have kind of control of which way you want to go. It's part of the strategy for me. But getting to that first 2-star windmill, it just depends on what your opponents roll, because you only get 1 orb before that spot. So it's gonna be up to the luck of the die. Same thing with the middle dice. It's all gonna depend on who gets movement orbs. If they can get to the middle first, it's very likely that they're going to keep that windmill the rest of the game. Not a guarantee. They have counterplay to that with the fluff. You might be able to get there with movement orbs, but most likely in a 20-turn game, whoever gets to that windmill first is going to keep it. That's my experience 90% of the time. And like I said, I think Koopa Tycoon Town improves on Windmill with being able to invest more coins into the windmill. or into the buildings to be able to increase the star count, while windmill has set star amounts in each windmill. I don't think that works as well. And the music drives me up the wall. It is one of the most annoying Mario Party board musics ever. It makes me go insane. I remember in college I played this board with friends, and every single time we started a turn, all of us in sync would just go boop 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 boop. It's obnoxious. I don't like it. But the board's okay. It's not bad, but it's okay. I did see somebody mention Pirate Dream. Pirate Dream. Yeah, Pirate Dream's good. I'd probably put it in A, but below Koopa's Tycoon Town. Pirate Dream's very standard, your very standard Mario Party affair. I really like in this board how there's two capsule machines just right next to each other at the start. It makes early game very, very fun. There's another one a little bit out of the way if you want to go to it. But every time you get to loop back to that beginning part of the board, it's super fun. I love it. The board looks really cool. I like the aesthetics. The music's very good. Yeah, it's just a nice standard Mario Party board. I think the one thing keeping it from S for me and below a different Mario Party 5 board, in my opinion, is just feels a lot of the paths just feel kind of long. Like that it takes a while for you to get to your first intersection, and it just feels it's a big map. It's at least feels big, and part of that part of that can become tedious to traverse, but it's still good. It's not a bad board at all. If you tell me, hey, you want to play Pirate Dream? Yeah, we play Pirate Dream. It's really good. But my favorite board in 5 is actually Toy Dream. Still not S tier, I'd say, unfortunately. Even though 5 is my favorite GC Mario Party, I like it more than Koopa's Tycoon Town. I love the theme of Toy Dream. Just a land of toys. It's great. I like the kind of pyramid structure you have going on with the different layers you can go to. Star spawns are very fun. You get a lot of like double setups, like the one on the left, and then it goes into that kind of middle path. Event spaces are fun. I like how you have that one event that you can basically get for free if you're going to the right anyway, with the soldiers that shoot down the blocks. I do like that. Yeah, I know, I like the pyramid structure, but don't like Pyramid Park. Yeah, because Pyramid Park is bad. What else about Toy Dream? Capsule machines are very easy to access. I think any board that lets you access capsules more often is more fun, more frantic. It plays into Mario Party 5's strengths more. And Toy Dream does that well because it's one at the start, one in that middle path, and one on the right side of the board. And those are very easy to get to. Makes things more fun. At least for me. You got that one happening. That sends you back to start. I think that's a good, like, trap happening. My one problem with the Toy Dream is that middle path. There's that middle path with one star spawn, no capsule machines, and you don't get to visit another capsule machine until you get to the start of the map. And I think that's a problem with the board design. It's almost... nobody goes there unless A, they hit the happening space that sends you to a random spot, or B, they need to buy the star there. And if you have to go buy the star there, you're screwed over for a couple turns unless you have like a mushroom or something. So unfortunately that isn't gonna go in S. It's very close to going S. But it's like this close to going to S. I really like Toy Dream, but I can't do it. So now with that, I think we go in order, like Dak suggested. I just wanted to get a few boards kind of out here, but we can go in order from here all the way down to here. So let's do it. Starting out in MP1, Mario's Rainbow Castle. It's good. It's a good board. Not amazing. but I'm gonna say it's our first B tier. I think something that holds back pretty much all of the Mario Party 1 boards is not having items. I think not having items ruins a lot of these boards. Makes them like, you know, not as fun to play. But it just embraces the chaos with not having items. You don't really have any control besides, oh, do I want to go left? Do I want to go to right? And I like Rainbow Castle. It's a little strategic. You can kind of plan out if you want to take a long path or a short path, depending on Bowser or Toad is there. But those happenings happen a lot, from my experience. The people land on them at least a couple times every lap. And even, like, you know, even the best plans can just get ruined by that. You have no items to kind of mitigate that. You have no mushrooms, no poison mushrooms. I think just having mushrooms, I think, would make this board a lot better. And Boo is in a spot that I think pretty much everybody is gonna go there. Like, you can take a little bit of a shorter path, but Boo is just the better option when you're going on that first part of the board. There's a chance time there, which I am a fan of. Any board that you can get some pretty easy to access chance times is chaos, and I like it. But it's not amazing. Again, I think items would just make the board so much better. The one amazing thing about the board is the music. As a kid, I would open that map, and I would just sit down and I'd listen to the music. I love the music in Mario's Rainbow Castle. And I also love the music in Eternal Star, which is actually going to be my first S tier board. I love Eternal Star. There's a lot of paths you can take, so you got a lot of options to go. It's a very high scoring board because the star spawns are really easy to get to, especially if you're playing with people who know the warp courses. Now, knowing the warp courses, I think, does take a little bit of the fun out of the board. Part of the fun was trying to, like, take risks of, is this Bowser, or is this gonna be stars, or whatever. I think the board would be better if all the warp courses, like, it didn't have those 3 presets. But I still really like the board because it's the one board in Mario Party 1 where I feel like I'm making choices. I know, like, most other boards, oh yeah, you're making choices, go left, go right, and it's the same deal here, but it's a lot more open because the islands are very small, and you can, like, look out and you know your warp course. It could be like, oh, this way is a single player minigame, so I'm gonna go land on that, or oh, this way is a happening space, so I'm gonna go that way and land on the happening for Happening Star. It's fantastic. I love that. And you know what else I love? You get, after, like, a few of the star spawns are bought near the start of the board, there's already some chance times there. The chances are very easy to get. It's very frantic. It's very fun. And the music! Eternal Star has my favorite board map song in all of Mario Party. I love that song. It's very adventurous, very climatic, very fitting. And another plus to Mario Party 1. Eternal Star. This little guy. Baby Bowser. This was the first board that he was in. And it led to Koopa Kid. And I love Koopa Kid. So I have to thank Eternal Star for that. For bringing me and my little guy. And then speaking of the gimmick there with all the star spawns and having to roll higher than Baby Bowser. The fact that your dice roll is rigged to 8, 9, and 10 makes it a lot less bullshit. If it was like if you had a 1 through 10 as well as Baby Bowser, then it would be a lot less fun. But the fact that it's rigged means you're most likely going to get a star, but you're not safe. And sometimes you'll lose a star. So, you gotta take that risk. I've seen people play the board to only buy 1 star and then try to win off bonus stars, going to Boo, stuff like that. It's great. I love Eternal Star. It's my favorite board in Mario Party 1. I don't think any of the boards come close to how good Eternal Star is. None of them. Mario Party 1 has the quantity over quality, I feel. So we're gonna move on to another Mario Party 1 board. DK's Jungle Adventure. It's a good board. It can't be C, but I don't think it's A either. So it's gonna go B. I think it's a little better than Rainbow Castle. It's just your... If I think of a Mario... If someone says Mario Party board, DK's Jungle Adventure is what comes to mind. It's just basic. You go down the paths. There's wumps you can pay to go certain ways. Very simple star hunting board. It has a very square, normal layout with some, you know, a couple of smaller shortcuts. It's got this little gimmick where if you have 20 coins, you can take shortcuts, but you don't have to pay. Bowser's pretty unintrusive in the board. He just takes 10 coins from you, and he's blocking a star spawn. He's not that bad. Yeah, no, it's just a Mario Party board. It's very basic. Nothing outstanding, but it's good. If you want to just have a nice, simple game, you go to DK's Jungle Adventure. Just be careful of the boos. There are 2 of them, at the top and at the bottom. They're pretty easy to access, so you're gonna have a lot of boo stealing, and sometimes that's a problem. For me, when I play Mario Party, I feel like having boo be too accessible is an issue. But at the same time, it can make for some fun, like, you know, just frantic back and forth, so... Yeah. That's all I really have to say about that board. It's not that interesting, but it's not bad. Okay, Peach's Birthday Cake. So we're gonna actually, when we're ranking these, we're gonna rank the Superstars versions right after. And Peach's Birthday Cake is... Well, it's gonna be a little biased because I only really play 20... most of the time I play 20 turns. I like longer games, but that's not what I play. It's okay. It's not amazing. It's not spectacular. It's just okay. I like the gimmick of being able to purchase piranha plants to steal stars. I think that's fun. I don't like how the Goomba lottery works in this version. You have to go to the Goomba lottery, get a seed, and one of them has Bowser. However, unlike Deep Bloober Sea, they don't reset once someone buys the wrong seed. So if you buy the wrong seed, everybody else behind you can just go through for free. No things asked. And then you'll go out, you'll go back to Goomba Lottery, and you might go to Bowser again. And this is another board that I feel is really hurt by not being able to use items. I think having items would make this a lot more interesting. You could try to risk, like, do I want to use a mushroom to try and avoid these piranha plants? But then I might risk laying on a different piranha plant up ahead. It's not much, but I think it would make the board more fun, especially because it's another, like, linear board. There's only one place to buy a star. It's a lot better when you're playing 50 turns. Because on 50 turn Birthday Cake, you're going to have a lot more money. There's going to be a lot more piranha plants circulating around. A lot more fun. But the Superstars version of Peach's Birthday Cake, I actually really like. I think it's a big improvement. Is it A tier? Yeah. But it's top of B tier. Like I said, having items, I think, improves this board greatly. And it doesn't break the board, because there's only one item shop on the board. So you're not going to be stocking up on triple dice all the time. And I like that. I like how the items aren't as accessible, but you still get to use them. And I like how you can buy coin piranha plants, as well as how they changed the Goomba lottery to being after you buy a star. And then you could potentially get, like, a nice shortcut back to the star. However, it's not free, because if you have, say, like, I don't know, you're going to the Goomba lottery and you have 30 coins. You pay the Goomba 10 coins, go to Bowser, past Bowser, he's gonna take, like, 15 to 20 coins from you, and you still don't have enough for the start. I've seen that happen. Like, people... I know Superstars kind of, like, drowns you in money, but I've seen people go back to the star after going to Bowser and not have enough. It works. Hey, there's the Turtle Star! But I definitely think they improved Peach's birthday cake in Superstars. Speaking of another Mario Party 1 board in Superstars, Yoshi's Tropical Island is not very good. People land on the happenings way too frequently, and the stars go like, woo, 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 woo. You can't really plan for that. And the optimal strategy for that board often becomes just going to the left side of the board and farming Boo. Because, hey, if you have 80 coins, Bowser steals 30 from you. Hey, you can still steal a star. And then, hey, someone might swap it back to Toad by the time you get to Bowser. Oh, you get to buy a star and steal a star. Whoa. It's not great. No. You have no control over when those happenings are gonna hit you. In the Thwomp Tolls, I like that. I like how you can kind of block people off the island if you have enough money, but it caps at 50. If you're playing a longer game, I don't think that's enough. And this is another board I think they improved in Superstars. Again, having items makes this a lot better, especially the custom dice block. Because I think having the custom dice block gives you more control, lets you plan a little bit more. You have to try to think about what your opponents are doing. It's still chaotic, and sometimes you still get screwed over by Bowser or whatever, but you can at least still do a little bit about it. Do I like it more than Birthday Cake? Probably not, but I think it's about the same as Birthday Cake. Don't really have much other to say. And, no, I do have one thing to say. First of all, they increased the Thwomp Tolls to, I don't think they're capped anymore, which I think is hilarious, especially with how much money you get in Superstars. And they put an item shop on the left side of the islands. And that, I think, helps a little bit with trying to farm Boo. Because you get some useful stuff there. You get golden pipes later part of the game. Warp blocks are very good in this board. Of course, custom dice block is very good in this board. So going to the item shop is sometimes you want to go there instead of going to Boo. Yeah, it's an improvement. Original, not good. Superstars version, solid. Okay, Wario's Battle Canyon. Now, this is gonna be a weird take from me. I like it more than Peach's Birthday Cake. It's just, I have a soft spot for the island hopping boards. And Wario's Battle Canyon is just chaos incarnate. So is Mario Party 1. They go hand in hand together. And I like that. Not, like, you might be saying, like, oh, well, Typh, why don't you like Yoshi's Tropical Island? Because I feel like Wario's Battle Canyon is just, it's very unabashed about not giving you any control. It doesn't try to pretend like you have control. Like, you see those cannons going boop, 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 boop. You're not timing that. You're not. And most people realize that. While with Yoshi's Tropical Island, it gives you the illusion, oh, you could take a path and stuffing, but oh no, and then like 3 people land on happenings and your whole plan's ruined. I like how Wario's Battle Canyon is just, you go to a cannon, it fires you somewhere, and then you're out of the cannon. It's funny. It's very funny to me. I like how you have to pay to, I like how you have to pay to go see Bowser. I think that's great, and it's like it's like a place you could farm single player games if you roll low enough. That's amazing. I love that. There's the fly guy there. It can get really annoying if you and someone else keep taking each other to the fly guy, because you'll just get stuck in that top right corner. Which I think is like the main problem with that board, is that fly guy, and also the fact that you have no control. I'm not gonna say it's a good board. It's not a good board, but I kind of like it. If someone wants to play that board, I'm not gonna have any problems with it. Luigi's engine room is trash, though. It's Woody Woods, but with no items. The board layout isn't as good. There's places on the board where you can infinitely loop if you get unlucky and do absolutely nothing. There's a Boo that everybody visits once they finish going down a path, So boost deals become really obnoxious. The price to change the gates is too much. 20 coins I think is too much to be able to change the gates. Maybe not in MP1 because in Luigi's Engine Room, you tend to have more coins than other boards because you're going to Boo all the time, you're going to Koopa all the time. You're not really buying stars, especially if you're getting stuck in a corner. I played this board the other day, I had like 170 coins by the end of it, and I bought like 1 star. Because I just got stuck at the top left for, I'd say, 7 turns or so. It's not good. I don't think this board is good at all. I don't have a good time in Luigi's Engine Room, unfortunately. And that brings us to our last B1 board. Magma Mountain. I will say, I do like the idea of Magma Mountain. I like the idea of having to pay to take a chance at taking a shortcut. I think that's a very nice risk-reward gimmick. I don't like, at the end, getting forced to go to Bowser and then getting a star stolen off of a dice roll. It's very punishing. And again, no fault of your own. I know Eternal Star has the same thing, but with warp courses, you know, you could plan around that. Even if you don't know the warp courses, like, oh, somebody goes to Bowser, now you know how to avoid going to Bowser if you're paying attention. Bowser's Magma Mountain's an inevitability, and if you don't get to go to Bowser, you go to Boo. And that's so much better. So you can, like, loop around that board, I don't know, 3 times, and always go to Bowser while your friend's always going to Boo. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't. But I like the ideas that they're trying to do with the shortcuts. They're probably gonna stay in C, but I'm gonna C. Sounds about right. And yeah, that's it for MP1. I think it's kind of telling. 3 of the boards are good, 3 okay, and 2 I think are bad. Not a great ratio, I feel, but Eternal Star makes up for like all the mediocrity in my eyes with the other boards in spades. Anytime I play MP1, Eternal Star is like my go-to. It's a great board. Okay, we got Mario Party 2 next. We got a lot to go through, so I'm going to try to zoom through these a little faster. Pirate Land. And for those of you who don't know, Mario Party 2 is my favorite Mario Party. I love that game. It's very nostalgic for me. It's very fun. I never have a bad time on it. Unless I'm playing Pirate Land, which is very mediocre. It's better than Magma Mountain. The bridges on Pirate Land are obnoxious. I've seen multiple games where people just, they go to the bridge, they land on a happening, back to start. They go up the bridge, they land on a happening, back to start. And it's such a long path before you get sent back to start that it becomes an annoying loop. If it was like 1 happening on the bridge, I'd be okay with it. But there's like 3 on each side. There's a lot. It's not very unlikely that you're gonna get trapped there. You could buy mushrooms to try and get past, but sometimes low rolls will just screw you over and you get stuck, even with a mushy. You can use skeleton keys, but you know, those cost 10 coins in this game. Benefit is, you can kind of just loop the start of the map to farm Boo if you want, but it's a long Boo loop. Not always worth it. I've won games off of doing it before, because sometimes you just can't get to the left side of the board, and the left side of the board's fun! It's got chance time over there. I know chance is behind the skeleton gate on the right side, but there's a chance time over there. There's the thwomp tolls again. I think this is a fun gimmick. They're just in weird spots on the board. There's that one bottom left island that has all those item spaces. That's really cool. But it's probably my least favorite board in 2. Funny enough. even with Western Land, which I think has an issue of having way too easy to access boos. It's incredibly easy to farm those, and just... I played a game of League. It just revolved around boos. There's the Hoot Nanny at the top, which if people don't want you getting to a star that's up ahead, people are just going to keep farming that over and over and over and over, and you're not going to make any progress. Even if you don't pay for the Hoot Nanny, people are willing to dump their coins in it if they're not trying to hold on to Coinstar. It's obnoxious. It's annoying. But come on, I can't. I'll put it right there, I think is good. I can't knock the board that much. It's charming. You wear pirate outfits. It's amazing. It's a great board song. I love the music there. The train gimmick's very fun. I like how there's a risk reward to if it goes backwards or forwards. You can run other players over and send them back to start. The happening's the same thing, but they don't always hit you because of where the trains go on the track. It's just those boos that hold it back. If there was maybe one boo on the board and he was harder to get to, like he was just the top right one, I'd probably put this in A tier. But it's not a bad board. I'm just a little biased. Next is Spaceland! Spaceland! Spaceland's another B tier, I feel. I love Mario Party 2, but unfortunately we're not getting much in A right now. Spaceland's gonna go top of B. My one big issue with Spaceland, again, is just places you can get trapped. That bottom strip, I've had games where it's taken us like 7 turns for somebody to escape the bottom strip. Because people just keep landing on happenings and getting sent back to start. It's annoying. And it's hard to get items at that part in the game. I think there's like 1 or 2 item spaces on that strip. So it's hard to be able to like even buy a mushroom to get yourself out of there. That's about all I have to say about it. The gimmick with it, the counter in the middle, I think that's fun. It's very risky. I've had very salty moments involving that laser with myself and friends. The item shop, I think, is placed in a good spot on the left side of the board. The Sniff It Patrol gimmick's fun, since you can mess with people's positions a bit. It's good. And then it's like, it's really easy to traverse because of that middle path. You can go up, down, left, right. You can get pretty much anywhere you want very easy. And then the boos are placed pretty well, I think, actually. There's that boo in the top right, which can be hard to get to because of the strip. What did you miss? Rest of MP1. We're on MP2 right now. But yeah, the top right blue I think is placed very well. It's past that strip where you have to get past all those happening spaces. And then there's another one behind a skeleton gate, which I think is good. There is, again, another strategy where you can keep buying skeleton keys and farming boo. And it's a lot easier to do in Spaceland. That's not fun. That's not fun. The board's good, though. So we have to talk about Superstar Spaceland. Probably actually my favorite board in Superstars. But I don't think it's that amazing of an improvement from the original Spaceland. In fact, I think it's slightly worse. And the reason for that is because there's just one big reason. I do like how item play is a little bit more... It's a little more fun because you have 3 items. I like that. I don't like how the Sniff It Patrol on the bottom right brings you in front of Boo now. In the original board, they bring you to the top diagonal part, and you would start going diagonally towards the center. And that could be like, that could be like a trap setup. You could trap someone into getting zapped by the laser, or like just force them to walk all the way around. But now, the happenings at the bottom can be used to just farm Boo, if you really want to. And it sends your opponents to Boo, if they're down there. And that's not good. You don't want to bring other people to Boo. I don't like that change, but everything else is solid. It's pretty much the same board. Item play is a bit more frequent, and I do like that a lot. It looks really pretty. The music remix is very good on Superstars. There is a bit of a gold pipe problem, but not as bad as... We'll get to it. But not as bad as other boards because there's only one item shop. So it's not as easy to farm golden pipes. But solid. It's probably my favorite board in Superstars. Mysteryland. Mysteryland. People don't like this board. But I do. I like Mysteryland. Again, it's just... Woo, it's chaos. It's chaos. But it's better than Wario's Battle Canyon. Because, at least with the teleporters, you'll know exactly where on the island you're going to be ending up once you hit a happening space. You got the skeleton key gate that you can use to maneuver yourself around. You got the little UFO bob-ombs that can take you. That's good. I like the item minigame, like the dual minigame on that board. It's a nice looking board. I like the aesthetic. Music's whatever. But it's objectively not that great. I know why people don't like it. But I like it more than Pirate Land. I just think I think it's fun. One big problem with Mysteryland though is again, Boo. There's only one, but he's on the top left. And it is so incredibly easy to just stay on that island and you just keep on looping back. Steal some coins, steal some more coins, steal some more coins, steal a star. If you have a golden mushroom, which is underrated item on Mysteryland in my opinion, it's usually not that great, but if you get to the top left with a golden shroom and you roll high, you could do like a triple steal in one turn, or like a double steal. I don't think you have enough to get a triple steal, but double, that's incredible. And if you get another item space, you get another golden mushroom. It's incredibly abusable. But it's fun. Horrorlands. That's our next A tier board. Right at the top of A, baby. Horrorland is a classic. It's atmospheric. I love how this board looks. The day-night cycle, I think, works better than a lot of MP6's day-night cycles, honestly. The Womps, you have to, like, try to position yourself for Boo. The Womps freeze up. It's just a classic. The King Boo. That is horrifying when someone gets it. I've seen it. It's so hard to get. But when it happens, it's devastating, and it's so great to watch. The board layout's very good. There's a lot of ways to maneuver around with, like, the eyeball. Strategically playing around the Womps and trying to make sure that you can get to Boo, but your opponents can't. Pretty easy access chance time. Good place banks, I think. A good item shop near the start of the board, so you can, you know, scoop up an early item. It's good. It's good. Now the Superstars version, again, I think is a downgrade. I'd probably put it right below Western Lands. And my problem with the Superstars version is how many lucky spaces there are. I usually don't have a problem with there being a ton of money in these games. It's fine. It makes things more fun for everyone. But there are so many lucky spaces. It kind of devalues minigames. And minigames are incredibly important in Horrorland in the original because you need them to steal stars. If you want to get the big Boo steal, you gotta have 150. You gotta keep winning those minigames. It's very important. But on this version of Horrorland, I think the lucky spaces kind of devalue that. I've seen King Boo more often than I've seen the Big Boo in the original. And I think it's a problem. And also, they removed the ketchup bottle that looked like blood. That's the worst part. They removed the ketchup bottle. But the Last 5 Turns remix of that song is really good. I will give it that. It's really good. And again, it's not a bad board. It's still really good. And finally, for the end of MP2, Bow Wow Land. Right at the top, baby. Paths are really easy to traverse. It's really fun to get around that board. The Bowser suit is finally useful. I think the Bowser suit's a garbage item in these games. It's so situational. But in Bowser Land, it's so good. You can use it to collect money from the bank. You collect money from Baby Bowser. You'll use it to steal coins. I've gotten 70 coins in one turn using the Bowser suit. It's so good. It is so incredibly good. If you can get a Bowser suit in Bowser Land, use it. Use that shit. And I feel like it's a very, you know, strategic board to play around. Boo is bottom left, and that's not always the most convenient place to go. Plus, you might be setting yourself up to go to the little Wheel of Death. I like it. There's a strategy you can do if you're in the wheel, and there's a star in there. If you keep landing on the blue spaces, you can hold off on buying the star to make sure your opponents can't get it. But as soon as you go and land on happening, you buy the star. It's great. It's a great board. And the Bowser Parade gimmick is really good. You gotta be very aware of where you are board positioning wise. It's good. I can't praise Bowser Land enough. It's one of my favorite boards in the series. Alright. Mario Party Trace here. Now I like 3. I really like 3. The boards are... They okay. They okay. Chilly Waters is... fine. It's fine. Now this is where most of my kind of speedrunning bias is going to come in, because I do speedrun MP. I used to speedrun it a lot. Chilly Waters is okay. The middle part, it's very nice to be able to use that to get around the board. Stars are placed well. The action time is fun to play with because you can use it to better position yourself. I don't like the ice slipping. Like if you go up the path and you just slip and lose the rest of your turn, that's obnoxious. I don't like how if 2 people are on the ice, it'll crack. Especially because that ice area is pretty big. It's very likely for that to happen, especially early game. And boo farming? Oh my god. It is so easy on Chilly Waters. Grab a reverse shroom. Go right behind the boo. Go right in front of it. Back up to the boo. Steal some coins. Bounce off the gate. Steal some coins. Go up! And wait. And then do it again. I think it's the easiest to do in Chilly Waters out of all the maps. I think every map has boo spam potential. I just think it's the worst in Chilly. And the board music's okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get through these a little bit faster because I didn't realize, oh my god, there's a lot of Mario Party boards. Deep Blooper Sea. Spiny Desert is great though. Okay. We'll talk about Deep Blooper for a second. I think the gimmick of teleporting you to the top or the bottom works. I think that works fine. So are the happenings. I think it's fine that they take you in between the top and bottom. But there's too many of them. There's too many happenings for you to land on. It's so easy for you to go like, whoop, 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 whoop. And it's so easy to be able to bring a poison shroom up to the top left corner and farm those happenings with the fish. I also hate this board because of my speedruns. It is the board that has killed more runs than any other board. The music's it's groovy, but it's kind of boring. Boo spam again. Very easy to do there. I like the idea of having a board split into 2 halves. I like the idea. I just don't think it works well in Deep Blooper. That's all. yes, Spiny Desert's great. I used to say it was my favorite board in the game. It's not. What do you miss? We're ranking Mario Party 3 now. But Spiny Desert, it used to be my favorite board. I just have a big issue. Not with the boost spam. Again, boost spam in like any of these boards is prevalent. I have an issue with the happening spaces on the board. The only happening on Spiny Desert is the quicksand. There's 2 quicksand pits. You land on the quicksand pit. You go through the quicksand onto the other side. And since I have this issue, I should probably actually bump it down to A. I still think it's really good. But there's so many times where people just keep low rolling and they're stuck in the sand pit. Not just them, but everybody else. Because this sand pit takes anybody who's in the circle. And these circles are big. And there's a lot of happening spaces. So it's so easy to just keep going back and forth and back and forth and back. Unless you have like a mushroom. Which you're not always going to have. Especially if you keep low rolling. It's obnoxious when it happens. But the cactuses, I actually like... Funny enough, I like how much you can break the game with the cacti. It's very fun to just look and like be like, hey, I have this much control of the board. I like that. I know not everybody likes having that much control over the board. I enjoy it a lot. But it is annoying if you have like a golden mushroom and you roll a 23 there and you have to look multiple times to find where your space is. That takes a long time and it slows down the pace of the game. But I love the aesthetics. Again, I don't like desert boards that much, but I think Spiny pulls it off really well, especially with the dark section. I think it looks really cool with the purple sands. The music's really good. I just like Mario Party 3's aesthetic in general with the pop-up book look. It's very charming. I think it's very fun. And I used to say Spiny was my favorite board, but nowadays I've been leading the Bowser Land. I have to put it in S. I'm sorry, like, I know it's flawed, I just like Spiny that much. I love Spiny. Actually, no. We're gonna talk about a different S tier board here. Waluigi's Island. Waluigi's Island is probably the easiest board to kind of traverse in Mario Party 3. There's a lot of ways you can go. There's a fucking island on the top left that changes spaces every single turn, and it's chaos. If somebody goes up there to go get a star, there could be Game Guy, could be Battle Games, Chance Time, Bowser, or it could just be like a blue space. It's amazing. You could like gentlemen to all go to that top left island and just farm it the whole game. It's so fun. Waluigi's has become my favorite board in 3 for the simple fact that Boo is hard to spam. Because you have to go through a 50-50 shortcut to get the Boo. And I think having Boo be hard to access is a good thing. And then if you want to go back with a reverse room, you gotta most likely, there's like a couple spaces in front of Boo, but most likely you have to go through the 50-50 again. And then again when you're going back to Boo. It's not easy to farm Boo, and I love that. I think that fixes one of the major issues I have with MP3, which is Boo spamming. I don't think boost spamming kills the game. I don't ever see it that much in my games that I play. But it can happen, and when it does happen, it is devastating when you're playing with people who know what they're doing in Mario Party. But Waluigi's Island fixes this. I like the bottom part of the board where you have the bomb that will blow up all your coins if you're stuck in it. Becomes very stressful if you're there and you don't have any movement items. You're trying to get up, everyone's screaming like, ah, ah, ah. It's frantic. I like how there's an item shop like 2 spaces from start, so you can scoop up something right at the start of the game. I really like that. I like the action time where you have to time which way you're going. It's pretty easy to do once you learn how to do it, but I like that. I think it's a good action time. I just have the most fun when I play on it, and I have a 100% win rate on Waluigi's Island in the Mario Party League, so I'm biased. Anyway, we'll go backtrack a bit, and Woody Woods is another okay board. I think I like it more than Windmill. Being able to play around with mushrooms on this board is really nice. Gives use to the poison shroom, which you don't really see in 3 a lot. The game, it works better than Luigi's Engine Room with the random paths, in my opinion. Because you have the items to use. Yeah, Boo Spam is a little obnoxious because there's an item shop right near Boo. And there's also a star spawn in front of Boo. So you can magic lamp there, go to Boo, and then reverse room if you want to. If that's available. The layout of the board isn't that bad. Not my favorite, but it's not awful. It's not great either. I don't really have much to say about Woody Woods. However, Woody Woods and Superstars is not good because of the golden pipe. Now, why it isn't an issue in Spaceland, there's one item shop. It's on the left side of the board. You're not going there a lot. Woody Woods, you're probably gonna have a lot of money because there still is a decent amount of lucky spaces. But picture the board with me for a second. Near the start of the map, there's an item shop. Halfway through the game, there'll be golden pipes. Near about the right side of the board, about halfway down, there's an item shop that will have golden pipes halfway through the game. Actually, no, it's more like near the top. But about 20 spaces after that item shop, you're going back to the item shop at the start of the map. So if you know, triple dice and go to that item shop, get another gold pipe, go get a star. It's probably a star spawn that's near an item shop. A lot of these star spawns are not that far away from the item shops. Not all of them, but I can think of like the one in front of Boo, the one at the bottom right of the board. But you golden pipe. Go back to the item shop, get another golden pipe. It just becomes a golden pipe fest. And that was my main issue with Super Mario Party, which I think was an issue on all the boards. They kind of fixed that in Superstars, but on Woody Woods, it's the biggest problem. Because it's so easy to farm the gold pipes. And it just makes the game not as fun. It devalues the rest of the items, the rest of the board play. I hate how no matter what position you're in the game, you could buy a gold pipe. I think Mario Party 3 did it better, where like only certain, like depending on your rank and what turn it was, you can get these items. Or like in Mario Party 5, where the capsules were random. You couldn't always get a golden pipe. But if you have the money, you can get a golden pipe in this. But it's not F tier. I'll still play it if somebody wants to play it, but I don't think it's good. Finally, that brings us to Creepy Cavern. Yeah, I'd probably put it... right above... I'd put it right above, actually, Peach's Birthday Cake here. I said earlier that I like the idea of a board that was split into two halves. I think it works better in Creepy Cavern. There's a shit ton of hidden blocks because of the layout of the board. It's very condensed. If you're in an area with a hidden block, most likely someone's gonna land on it eventually. I think Boo's placement is good. Sometimes he's blocked by the Womp, and the Womp... I mean, you can't get there with reverse rooms or whatever, but it's a lot harder to get to, I feel. The board looks really nice. I love the cave aesthetic. It looks really cool. I like how there's a bunch of Womps playing Mario Party. That's fun. I have an issue with how the Fwomps can only be on one side of the board at a time, and you can't always make it to the other side. Especially because that action time is really hard to time. So you only get one shot. And if you mistime it, he's on the other side of the board and he can't do it again. It is fixed a little bit with the happening spaces. You can move over with the happenings instead, but again, you're not always going the way you want to go. It gives value to items like warp blocks. I think skeleton keys are at their best on this board. It's a good board. I think it's good. Not amazing, but it's good. We have almost every board in like a different tier here. Fortunately, they did miss out on the F tier, but did get 2 in C. I think after this, I might take I might assign points to every board based on where they placed, and then average them out to see which game I think has the highest quality boards. We'll do that at the end, though. But speaking of high quality is not the name of the game with Mario Party 4. I'm gonna be very quick on these. I think 4 is fun because of the minigames. But the board play is some of the worst. The items aren't very interesting. Mega and mini mushrooms are everywhere and are over-centralized in the game. You're missing some interesting items like Bowser phone, sell your shopper, the poison shroom is a mini mushroom is poison shroom and skeleton key combined, and I don't like how that works. The boards are, for the most part, very bad. Most of them have, like, infinite loops, potentially. A lot of forced intersections, which I hate in Mario Party. They look very boring. You don't get a lot of the cool items. Like, mini Mega Hammers, I will say, are really cool. I love mini Mega Hammers. But you rarely get to use them because you only get those in item shops. And you get Mega and Mini Mushrooms from the mushroom spaces. You don't get other items from spaces. And I hate that. And that's Mario Party 4 in general. Tailspin Atlantis is bad. There's Teacup Hell at the start. Somebody is gonna get stuck there. They can get stuck there multiple times. The only thing that almost saved it is it's the aesthetic. It's like the only board in Mario Party 1 or 4 that has a part of it that isn't a grid. It's the roller coaster. I do like the roller coaster part of the map. I think that's good. I think it's a nice gimmick to, you know, if you're on the tracks, you're at risk of getting pushed to one or other side. But that the teacup gimmick ruins it for me. Because while everybody else is off exploring the board, you're gonna be, one of you is gonna be stuck at the start, just looping for a bit. And by the time you might be able to escape, someone might have already made it back with like a Mega Shroom and got it out there before you. And there's no item shop in that loop, so you can't buy an item if you want to. The only saving grace is that warp space that you might land on. But it's just a chance to land on it. Shy Guys Jungle Jam is one of 2 good boards in this game. It's not great. It's good. It's just very standard, very basic. You go across the board, you go buy your stars. You got the Klepto that you could take as a shortcut if he's on your side, which I think works better than the Thwomps in Creepy Cavern because he's not as like prevalent in the board. It's just a little shortcut you can take. That volcano event's pretty cool when you get it. I like the placement of the lottery. I think the item shops are well placed. Star spawns are placed well too. The happening is, I do like the happening a lot where if you get the angry wish, it separates the board. It forces people to maybe, it might screw over people. Might screw over you too, but it might screw over your opponents. I do like that. But it's got nothing, it's not special. Nothing stands out about this board. Nothing. Except for the fact that it has a shit ton of red spaces. That's about it. Gooba's Greedy Gala. I used to say this was my favorite board in 4 because it fits the aesthetics of 4 the most. But I'd probably say Shy Guys Jungle Jam is better. I do like the mechanic where you have to, you know, bribe the Goomba to go the way you want to go, to the star. Well, I have a big issue with the left side of the board potentially just trapping you forever. That's annoying. Bottom right's fine because you can farm the lottery. There's a battle space there that you can pretty easily get. There's a mini mushroom pipe that you can escape from. There's ways to get out. Top left, I've gotten stuck in for entire games because I keep winning the game and I miss all the happening spaces, even with mini shrooms. And again, that's an issue with all of Mario Party 4's boards. Boo's Haunted Bash is overrated. Better than Magma Mountain, but it's overrated. People say this is one of the best boards in 4. I disagree. That, yo, show me the full list. Okay. This is what it's looking like so far. But we're in the middle of Mario Party 4 right now. I think Boo's Haunted Bash is... The Mystery Train ruins it. Yes, no, I like Eternal Star a lot. SMH. Boo's Haunted Bash. The Mystery Train is... I don't like the mechanic. There is one place where you can change the Mystery Train. And that requires you to go up and away from the item shop at the start of the game if you want to visit it. Or later in the game, you gotta neglect Boo to go change it. And it doesn't change just for you, it changes it for everybody. So, I mean, yeah, you can't screw players out of stuff, but most likely, nobody's gonna go that way to change it, because just going to the item shop or going to Boo is objectively better. The only reason I'm going to the pink Boo is because I need to get a star that's that way. And when the bridges are off, you gotta take the mystery train at the top left corner, and then everybody's just gonna go to Boo. Yes, the Moshlit Pit Playroom song is playing. I know you're very excited about that. But yeah, no, everybody's just gonna take the same path on the mystery train, most likely. I know there's other ways you can go, but it's just better to just go to Boo, and then nobody's gonna go turn the bridges back on. And I hate that because the lottery is behind the mystery train. And I love the lottery in 4. It makes me mad that I can't go to the lottery as much in this board. But it's not bad. It's not an awful board. I'm just not a fan. Koopa Seaside Soiree is... No, Linguini. These Mario Party 4 doesn't have good boards. It doesn't have good boards! Soiree is okay. You know what, actually... I like it more than Boo's Haunted Bash. Pirate Land, actually. I'll put it above Windmill Hill, actually. Soiree, it does have forced intersections, but I don't think it's as intrusive as other boards. Because if you go, like, if you're going stuck at the top path, you're at least going to be able to farm, like, the lottery on the right side. Or on the left side, you'll have a bunch of chances to go to Boo. If you go down, you have the events with the, you know, the mini event with the fishing rod. There's a lot of happening spaces that can get you around. I think the Koopa Cabana gimmick is fun. I've seen the Koopa Cabana, like, block people out of a star before, and that's very funny. The item shops, I think, are placed fairly well. One on the bottom and then one on the left side. I think the placement of that is good. Especially, like, if you get trapped in the top left and you try to go down, you can farm items, and that's really good. I think if you're gonna get stuck in an infiloop, having something to do is great. And I think Soiree handles that well. You've had a Koopa Cabana hold 70 coins. Oh my god, that's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, it's okay. One of the boards I'd probably prefer to play, like, if you're asking me to play 4 of you, the 3 I'll probably go to first are Jungle Jam, Gala, and Soiree. Not a fan of Boo's Haunted Bash. I think Toad's Midnight Madness is hot garbage. Actually, it can go in D. Because Gnarly Party is actual hot garbage. The Infiloop at the start is worse. It does help that there's an item shop there at least. But if everybody leaves before you, you just keep going down and down and down. It's annoying. It's obnoxious. The music's kind of boring. The lottery shop is hard to access. I want to access the lottery more. Give me the lottery. I love the lottery in 4. If you can't tell, I have a gambling problem. No, not really. The mini pipe on the left side of the Bowser Gnarly Party is really obnoxious to try and get into. Like, I barely see anyone go that way. The reason, Toads, I just think it's poorly designed on top of, like, the first junction. It's just big and eh. The one, that's why I kind of push it up to D, though, because I think the roller coaster is a good part of the board. Being able to screw people over by landing on the happenings or taking the roller coaster yourself, I think is good. But that, like, that bottom part just, it really hurts the board. And when you're the one stuck in that, nuh-uh, it's not fun. But Bowser's Gnarly Party is just, I don't have fun whenever I play this board. I know it's a Bowser board, supposed to be punishing, but I think other Bowser boards do punishing better. Like, Bowser Land, I think, does it a lot better. Bowser's Nightmare does not. Yeah, I'd say I'd probably prefer to play Clockwork over Bowser Nightmare. Bowser Nightmare has a ton of paths with nothing to do. You take a path, like you go left, and then you go up, you're stuck there for a really long time with no capsule machines. A happening that takes away your capsules, so if you have a useful capsule, well, you're out of those for a while. You have to go that way for stars sometimes. It's obnoxious. It's obnoxious. It's not fun to traverse. The Circle of Doom, I don't really have an issue with the Circle of Doom, actually. It's the same thing in Bowser Land, and I love that board. Speaking of Bowser Land, there's the music. I'm gonna turn that up a little bit. Yeah, Rainbow Dream. I've said that I like island hopping boards before. Rainbow Dream is objectively better than Mysteryland because you can actually kind of choose when you want to leave the island. But it's just kind of vanilla. It's just kind of meh. It looks cute. I like how it's rainbows. I think that about there is right. I really don't have anything special to say about Rainbow Dream. It's very just, you go around the map, you get your stars, take the intersections when you want to go towards another star. There's a happening that takes you around. Whoa. It's okay. That's okay, board. Undersea is pretty good. I don't think it's amazing. It's like, it's not amazing because the board is kind of boring, honestly. It's very just, you're underwater. And that kind of holds it back a lot. Another thing that's gonna actually make me put it at the bottom of B is because there's only 2 capsule machines. One at the start of the board, and one at the right that you're not always going to hit. So capsule play is very subdued, and I think that's a problem in 5 boards with subdued. Ooh, loud. I think having subdued, like, capsule play in a 5 board is a problem because that's its main thing, and I think boards that play to capsule play more are better. And Undersea doesn't do that very well because they have that one at the beginning. You can farm it, but it's not really the best idea to do so. And then that right one, which, again, if you want to take a shortcut, you're going to be neglecting. And then there's that left part of Undersea Dream that has 1 star spawn and that's it. And then you're just kind of stuck there for a while with nothing to do. I think that's an issue. But it's okay. It's alright. It's also funny to call it Wet Dream. Future Dream is good. I think Future Dream's good. When I put it above Mysteryland, though. Yes, I would put it above Mysteryland. Being able to taking an island hopping board that lets you travel around is just fundamentally a better idea. I have a I like Battle Canyon and Mysteryland. I like these kinds of boards. I think they're chaotic and fun. But objectively, it's better to be able to have control over that. And I think Future Dream handled that pretty well. I like the aesthetic. Similar to Spaceland. Spacey. Music's good. Capsule machines are on every island, so no matter where you're going, you're getting a capsule. And I think that's very good. Happenings are good. I like the happenings that take you randomly around the board. I like the one that forces you to take a taxi. I like the little game you get to do to collect coins. I think they're all fairly good. With Future Dream, as it's usually pretty high scoring, I really like how no matter where you are, you have like a chance of getting a star. It's good. It's good. Not spectacular, like Pirate and Toy are better, but it's good. And that actually leads us to our last board. Sweet Dream. It's not good. I don't think Sweet Dream is very good. But I put it above Bowser Nightmare. Yes, actually. Sweet Dream, the thing that saves it a little bit is it's a very small board. So, even to get forced into an intersection, you're probably going to make your way back pretty soon. The happening at the top of the board is broken. You can steal up to 3 stars with that. 3. I held up 2 before. You can steal up to 3 stars with that, which is something that you'd have to pay 150 coins before in Mario Party 2. Again, it has forced intersections, which I do not like, but I think it's better than in the Mario Party 4 boards, like Gnarly Party and Midday Madness, because you're at least still making progress on the board. In Mario Party 4, you'd be looped around, but in Sweet Dream, if you're getting forced away, you're still making progress on the board. You're still heading somewhere. If you get sent to the top, you get to go to that top happening and get a capsule. You go right, you can make some progress towards the bottom of the board. On the left bridges, you go down. The pit kind of sucks, but whatever. And if you go left, you get a nice little shortcut, but probably towards less star spawns, because there is that star spawn on the bottom. And I like the aesthetic. It's sweets. I like boards that look like cake and stuff. Like Peach's birthday cake looks really nice. Sweet Dream looks really nice. I also have a soft spot for it because I was gonna do a texture mod for 5. I kind of stopped working on that, but I finished most of Sweet Dream and it looks like absolute hell. Shut up, Malwarebytes. Oh, we're actually getting through this pretty fast. We have 6, 7, 8, DS, and Super Mario Party left. Towering Treetop is by far the best designed board. It belongs at the top. I say this while the top is good, the bottom belongs for unique opportunity for happening in orbs. And there isn't just 3 days, but 2 chance sides. The map has boo. There's just so much strategy on Treetop for it to not be near the top. That's my opinion. Good input, Linguini Bra. But I will actually put Treetop near the top. Put it right there. You pretty much covered what I wanted to say about Treetop. There's a lot of strategy to it. The fact that you know the order of stars once you see all the star spawns makes it very fun to try and position yourself. Boo? I think Boo in 6 is handled spectacularly. I think having Boo just as a nighttime thing, like in Horrorland, is wonderful. I think it works really well. Because, you know, you can't always get that Boo steal. But if it's nighttime, there's a star in front of the Boo Hut. You can go, you have a flutter there, buy a star, and then steal a star. It's a great thing. There's a lot of potential for double star purchases once you're aware of the cycle. Use a lot of movement orbs to set yourself up for that. The happenings are good, frequent. Again, 2 chance times, like you said. People are always hitting chance time on that board, and it's very chaotic, very fun. And Treetop, it just looks nice. It's a big tree. It's a big tree. You're climbing a big old tree. That's great. It's wonderful. It's very creative. And the duels, again, that's another part that's good, as duels are lovely there. The duels are everywhere. MP6 duels are pretty fun. I love practicing the Mario Party 6 duels a lot. It's enjoyable. I think the one... Do I have any problems with Treetop, actually? I don't, actually. I've played on Treetop a lot, and I love that board. I don't have any issues with Treetop. I think the one issue is that little, like, the pit at the bottom, but, like... That's part of the board. I feel like you can plan, because, like, you're only in that pit at the start, and then, like, when you're looping back around, but you can plan for that. You can have moving orbs, you can put traps there. That's a very good place for traps, because everybody has to get funneled down that way eventually. I've really grown to love, like, Treetop in my times playing it. Like, I was gonna say A, but thinking about it, I think it's actually now my new favorite board in 6. Funny enough, it did used to be EGAD, but I have a big issue with EGAD. I still think it's good. Is it A tier good? No, it's not A tier good. I'll put it right below Spaceland, I think. I think it's a really creative board. I love all the happenings there. I love how, for example, like, Season 6 Mario Party League that we just had, everyone was super strategic with orbs. You have to have restraints on buying stars if you don't want to give stars to people. And for those of you who don't know, stars go in a set order in Mario Party 6. Once you know the spawn cycle, it's gonna go in that same cycle for the rest of the game. So you can, like, if you don't want someone to have a star, you can wait on buying a star. You can, like, pass it and then give a flutter to it. It's very fun. Alright, good night, Ligwitty. Wait, it's a fun board. I don't know why this song is so quiet. There we go. It's very strategic. My big issue with it, Orb Star. I hate Orb Star. I think it takes a lot of the value out of board strategy, because you're just pressured to use your orbs instead of, like, being like, I should use this orb now. I think part of the fun of Mario Party is, like, being able to, like, figure out, hey, when should I use this item? Instead of, oh, well, I have an orb, gotta use it now. Because that also funnels in, like, you got a Paratroopa? You better put that down if you want to keep Orb Star, baby. Even though it's gonna probably gonna screw you over later. Coinstar, I think, is a lot better. And EGAD is a board where it's really easy to get 19 perfect orbs, especially with the orb that you pick up for free right at the start. So there's just a lot of pressure into using your orbs no matter the situation. If you have, like, a bullet bill or whatever, well, you might have to use that to keep your orb star, even if it's gonna inconvenience you. I got a metal shroom that you want to save for a trap, but it's your only orb. Use it now if you want to keep your orb star. Big issue with EGAD. But it's a good board. I still think it's fundamentally a good, solid Mario Party board. It's just Orb Star ruins it for me. If Coinstar was still in the game, I think EGAD's would be an A tier board. Especially with how compact it is. On longer games, traps would become more and more prevalent. Yeah. Fair Square is hot trash. Fair Square is garbage. But I like Clockwork Curse less. Probably top of D. Because I like the aesthetic of Fair Square a lot. It's a fair. It's a little town square. I think it looks really cute. The problem with Fair Square is the gimmick of the board. At daytime, stars cost 20 coins. They're at the same spot. At nighttime, still the same spot. They can cost anywhere between 5 and 40 coins per star, and you can buy up to 5 at a time. So most games just end up becoming hoarding coins, waiting for that 5, and hoping you're in the middle. And then if you're in the middle, golden mushy, buy a shit ton of stars. And sometimes that doesn't happen, so you have to, like, oh, you have to settle on buying 20 coins, stars, or whatever. It doesn't work. Stars are just way too devalued with how that gimmick works. I like the gambling games on the side. I like how you can gamble away a star to potentially win a second star. But when you have like 15, 16 stars, one extra star is probably not going to help you. I do like the happening at the top though, where everybody has to put in a star and then somebody gets all 4 stars. I think that's really funny. It's mean, but it's funny. And then it's coins on the daytime, I believe. The coins ones work a little better because it's only 10 coins, and then someone gets 40. I think that's really good. There's the slot machine, which you could time. I like all these ideas. But the fact that you can just load up on all these stars, especially if it's a 5 coin at night, and if you just happen to be in the square when this happens, because you're not always going to be in the square. Sometimes you have to walk away and stock up an orb. Sometimes you're going to get out of there because there's some traps you need to avoid. Someone has like a bullet bill and you need to get away from that. Sometimes you want to go up and get the happenings, so you can get happening star. And that's another thing, it like devalues the bonus stars, which isn't always an issue. I don't think it's always an issue. But on this board, like, it just like, oh, well, someone has like 25 stars, and oh, I have 15 stars. I got the mini game. I got all 3 bonus stars. How? That's not gonna help me. It just depends on like being there at the right place at the right time. I don't think that's very good board design. Why is it called a square if the thing is a circle? Good question. Snowflake Lake. I don't think it's a good board, but I think it's the best of the star stealing boards. And I also think it's the prettiest, like one of the prettiest boards in the series. I'd still probably prefer to play it over any of the ones I'm putting below it. And actually, Pirate Land I'll probably put like here. Wait, what's here? Snowflake Lake. I think what helps Snowflake Lake out, as opposed to Pyramid Park, is there's a lot of duel spaces on Snowflake Lake. And like I said, the MP6 duels are really good. The duel system's really good, betting up the 40 coins for star for star, coins, whatever you want to do. And there's a ton of duel spaces, so even if you're not getting chomp steals, which aren't going to happen as much as they do in Pyramid Park, because the chomp spaces are a little bit more spread out, you have to wait till night if you want 3 dice blocks. It costs 30 coins for 3 dice blocks. There's a middle part that you could stay safe in, and that's where all the duels are. You could use that to get stars instead of the chain chomps, and you can combine both duels and chain chomps, or just try to rely on chain chomps and risking getting your stars stolen by other chain chomps. And it looks really pretty. The board it looks really pretty. It has Wacka from Paper Mario in it. That's amazing. It's an okay board. It's not bad. Castaway Bay is like Mario's Rainbow Castle, but if you get to the end with Bowser, you lose a star instead of coins. And I think that's worse. I think that's worse than just losing your coins. It is extremely punishing for something that you don't always have control over. And it's not bad. Yeah, Castaway's like a C tier for me. It's again very similar to Rainbow Castle. You get to the end with DK, you get a star. You get the end with Bowser, you lose a star. Simple. And you have items, so you can control a little bit more. But a few things. I like Rainbow Castle's aesthetic more. I think the castle in the sky looks better, and the music. I love the music in Rainbow Castle, so I'm a little biased. And again, I think the one thing that hurts Castaway is instead of losing coins, you lose a star. I think if it was 40 coins that you lost when you made it to Bowser, I'd probably like Castaway Bay a little bit more than Rainbow Castle. Especially because you got, Boo is harder to access because it's a nighttime only thing. You have incentives to go other paths with, free orbs. Because you get, like, that early free orb if you go right instead of up towards the Boo. You could take that shortcut to the end. Sluggish Shrooms, I think, hurt it a little bit, just because, like, Sluggish Shroom is really powerful. You could do a lot with that. And so instead of, like, using, like, a Poison Shroom to try and land on the Happening, you're guaranteed to land on Happening. You could screw someone over. Or get, you know, screw someone over, or you can get your own star, which means you do have to be very aware of where everyone is every single time, and that's good. It's okay. If you want me to play Castaway Bay with you, I'll play Castaway Bay with you. It's just, I think the traditional boards in 6 are much better. But at 7, the gimmicky boards are actually pretty damn good. Grand Canal is good. I'm actually gonna nudge Western Land down here. And Grand Canal is gonna go right above Egad. Wonderful aesthetic. I love the, you know, the Venice-inspired locations. I love how all the Mario Party 7 locations are basically real-life places except for Bowser's Enchanted Inferno. I think it's really nice. Grand Canal is just kind of a nice, standard get the stars board. Actually, I think I like Egad's a little more. You know, get the stars. The big issue, Inferno is based on Brazil. The big issue, oh my god, with Grand Canal for me is that right side of the board where there's like no orbs. You're just stuck dry if you go over that side of the board, and I don't like that. But otherwise the layout's pretty good. A lot of paths you could take, a lot of fun stuff on the board. You got that happening at the top with the blooper. That's a fun little, you know, little try to follow the objects game. The music's a little annoying. I don't have much to say about Grand Canal. It's a good board. We don't got a lot in A and S, but that's about to change. Pagoda Peak is pretty fantastic, actually. I'll put it right above Pirate Dream here. I'll put Koopa's Tycoon Town actually here. Pagoda Peak, I think, is one of the best linear boards in this. Probably the best linear board out of all the Mario Party games. It's very short and compact, so you're going up to the mountain a lot. People are schmooving all the time. You could use traps that try to prevent schmooving, like they got the zap orbs and stuff that try and discourage that. I like the gimmick where every time someone reaches the top, the star gets more expensive. I think that works really well. There's a lot of times where people will not have the 40 coins once it gets that expensive, and I think that is very nice. Bowser time on this board is a little meh. With the bridges getting destroyed, I don't really like that event at all. I don't mind the one where he knocks everyone down, but it's just fun to try and like zoom your way up the mountain. You can choose like, oh, do I want to use a cannon to try and move even further than I could with a mushroom, but risk losing out on some orbs? Do I want to use a mushroom but risk landing on something like a dual space where I'm forced to, I don't know what I'm putting up to bet? It's a great board, and yeah, the dual alley at the bottom of the mountain is so it's so chaotic, but it's so fun. Another big issue of this though is if you're not playing as the Deads, as in Dry Bones and Boo, or the Toads, you're at a bit of a disadvantage if they get their character orbs, because this is a very movement heavy board. But I like it. I also like good old Neon Heights. It's gonna be our next S tier board. I have always liked Neon Heights. It was my favorite board as like a kid, when I was a little kid. My friend and I would play it all the time because this was her favorite board. She loved 7, so we'd always go on Neon Heights. Everybody always has chances to get chests because of the little mini games they have on there with the pew pew and the baseball. you always got chances to get money on the board and buy chests because they're only 10 coins. Getting a bomb isn't always bad because sometimes it'll put you in a better position. There's a lot to consider with do I want to go this way and hope that I get the star before this person, or do I want to go this way hoping that the chest they're not going to is the star instead. Very high scoring games. You'll see people have tons of stars when they play this board. Bowser's pretty frequent, which I would say is an issue, but not here. Because everybody's getting money from those mini games, it's nice to have Bowser as like an equalizer, and it's very scary when he wants a star from you. The one tiny little thing that I would want to change is the second item shop position. I think the left one is placed very well. I think the right one is just a little bit off the beaten path, and you're not going there a lot because there's only like one chest that way, and then you're kind of stuck in a path for a while without much. Most people you'll see after they go down the elevator, they're gonna go left. I think having the item shop maybe in the middle of the gutters would, like, the middle of the little, like, baseball gutters would be better. Because you could scoop up an orb in a little bit earlier. And I think that would encourage people to go that way more often if they had, like, oh, I can reach the item shop this turn, I'm gonna go that way. I think the aesthetic is wonderful. I love the New York style city. The music's very catchy, it's very lively. And it is a very luck-heavy board, I know, because you gotta depend on getting star chests, but I like that. I like how they're cheap, but it's luck. It's still luck, and, like, even if you don't get a bomb, you get coins, hey, you got extra money. If you're moving around a lot, you could buy a lot of chests, especially if you got a lot of money, been winning a lot of mini-games. There's a lot you could do to play around that luck. I love that. I love it when you have, like, a luck-heavy board, but you can still play around the luck elements. I think Neon does that wonderfully, and it's my favorite board in 7. But close is Bowser's Enchanted Inferno. Going right at top of A. Inferno, I think, handles Bowser time the best. It doesn't have the annoying, like, oh, I'm gonna take a photo of everybody, or I'm gonna chop this shop in half and make my own shop. It's just one thing. Every 5 turns, you know, the island with the star is going to sink. And you gotta get the hell off that island before it sinks. So you gotta, like, if it's turn 4, maybe, like, and you think you can reach a star, you use, like, a mushroom to try and get to it. You didn't reach it? Well, maybe you want to consider going a different way so you don't burn, because you lose half your coins. And that's not good. It's a good board. It's a really good board. Happenings are everywhere. You're going to see very high happening counts when you go on this board. And they're very varied, too. You got one where you get a star. You get ones that move your position. One that brings you coins. You can get coins. You can fight Koopa Kid. It's very good. And there's no Bowser spaces. And, like, I know I said, like, having Bowser is, like, a good thing. Unlike Neon Heights. Which it is. Like, I think Bowser minigames are really fun. They're very intense. But sometimes just having something that, like, you know, take a backseat, not have to worry about Bowser, and just play a nice, compact Mario Party game where people are buying stars all the time. It's very close together. You're worrying about, oh, if someone buys a star, is the star going to go into the island that I'm on right now, and then I'm going to be screwed? It's wonderful. It's a wonderful board. I think I have a lot of praise to say about 7's boards besides Pyramid Park. When we get to like averaging everything, it's probably gonna place pretty well. We're coming up on the home stretch here. Mario Party 8, I think, also has good boards for the most part. Nothing special besides like Koopa's Tycoon Town. I think Koopa's Tycoon Town is actually worthy of going in S. It's a very good gimmick board. DK Street Cop Temple is, again, kind of the similar vein to DK's Jungle Adventure, which is very basic, standard Mario Party. I'd probably put it about right there. Nothing really special to the board. The Bowser event's really lame. He just moves the star. I really like how the board looks. I love how it's like this kind of these wooden planks that the spaces are square-shaped. I just enjoy that aesthetic a lot. It makes you feel like you're in this, like, you feel like you're in this temple. I think the board layout is good. The happenings work well. DK is a god in this. He just throws you to the star. He's amazing. We love DK. I don't have as much experience with 8. Can't really play that one online as well than you can with these other boards. But it's just standard Mario Party. Very average, it's good. I'll play it. Gooma's Booty Boardwalk is okay. I don't really have any major issues with it, besides the fact that stars are free. Why, oh why are the stars free? I think this board would, if this board made you pay like 20 coins for the star, it'd be fine. Because you also have to, the main thing of this board is you're focusing on buying candy, you're focusing on paying the dolphins money, and they kind of, I don't know how the money works, like how much they're going to charge you, but you gotta pay them. And I think it'd be much better if you had to, like, kind of balance, like, do I want to pay the dolphin to move further and buy these candies, or do I want to make sure I have enough money for the star? Because otherwise this just becomes a game of who rolls higher, which is a big issue I have with these guys down here, but we're gonna get to that when we get to that. Booty Boardwalk is okay. I like how the piantas are there. I like the perspective of the board, how you're kind of looking behind your character's back as they're walking the board. I think the 8 doing these different perspectives of the boards is really neat. But it's, yeah. And that happening at the end, again, is, like, obnoxious. Pagoda Beak has the same thing, but I think it's a lot easier to try and, you know, play around that as opposed to Gooma's Booty Boardwalk. And I like, I just like the aesthetics of Pagoda more, the, verticality. But Booty Boardwalk has a boppin' board song. It's one of the best. It's very catchy. I'd actually probably put up a rainbow. Yeah, it looks about right to me. Pyroland I put above, we'll put Pyroland there. King's Boo Haunted Highway. I love this board. It's Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. But it's a board. Not really. But I love the gimmick. I think it's one of the coolest gimmicks they've ever done in Mario Party with the random layout. But I actually can't put it in S. It's A tier. Right there. The reason for that is because when somebody gets a star, everybody gets sent back to star. And that can get really annoying. And you have to rememorize the layout. I wish there was, like, a few I still like having the random layout, and I do like how it shuffles. I just wish there were, like, I don't know, 3 star spawns in the board. Like, there's a few pits, there's, you know, Bowser pits if there's there, DK pits, but I wish there was, like, 3 star spawns that you could potentially find. And then once all 3 of the star spawns are claimed, then the board will shuffle and eject everyone out. Because it can get really annoying, like, trying to position yourself for a star. Somebody else gets one, and then you just get sent back to start and have to start all over. The good thing about that, though, is you get to roll after them once they buy a star, so you do get a little bit advantage with board positioning. But that also, like, that could ruin, like, Springo candies if everyone gets back to start. It's like, oh, I have the Springo candy that I was going to use, now I can't really use it because everybody's just here, but I need it for Candy Star. I didn't mention it, but I think Orb and Candy Star are better in 7 and 8 than they are in 6 because it's random bonus stars. And even if I don't really like the random bonus stars as much as I like the standard ones, I think having 6 bonus stars instead of 3 makes it less obnoxious. But it's a very good board. I really hope that they try to tackle something like this in the future again with a board with the like, kind of randomization. Maybe like once a star is bought, they can like shuffle different pieces around, like kind of like you know, some board games will do. I think it's really neat. I just wanted to do another kind of like random generalization, anemone. Shy Guys is also good. Probably not A tier. It's gonna be B. I'll actually put it right next to his little brother there, DK. So either get to the end board. Not as interesting as Pagoda because you don't really have traps all over the board. But just the aesthetic of the board being on a train, that's sick. You get to go through the train, on top of the train, and back in. The trains are always shuffling during the game, so you can either get pushed further back if you're on top of the train, or closer if you're inside of the train. It's really cool. I really like that. Lucky Space can be a little obnoxious on this board if someone keeps getting a slow go. I'm looking at you, Amber Victini. But it gets really obnoxious if someone's able to farm that that Lucky Space. You could do that on a couple other boards too, but I think it's really prevalent in Shy Guys Perplexed Express. But the board is so cool. It's a train! And Holly Koopa is on the board. Shh, Holly Koopa's great. I don't know what you're talking about. That was legit. Holly Koopa's on the board. She's really cool. The Holly Koopa fan base is dying. Retweet if you're a true Holly Koopa fan. Again, the big issue is just it comes down to whoever can roll the highest. Same thing was Goomba, you know, Goomba's Boogie Boardwalk, but you had the dolphins to help with that. So you pray and you get tripled candies and stuff, but I can't. It's too charming. It's such a charming board. I really like it. I really like 8's board selection. Except for Bowser's Warped Orbit, it's garbage. I used to think that this board was okay. It's not. It's... Okay, so picture Backtrack. If you've ever played the dual mode in Mario Party 3, it is... it's a loop. But sometimes someone will land on a space that will reverse the direction the loop is going. It's like Clockwork Castle. But it's not every few turns, it's just whenever someone lands on a happening. And imagine that you have to use items to steal instead of chain chomps that are on the board. So it just becomes spamming these candies instead of using other candies, potentially. The board's constantly flipping. The board's pretty big, so it's hard to hit people. And on solo mode, when you're trying to play the story mode, and you're 8 games in from an octathlon, and you're played this board for half an hour, not being able to finish the board because it keeps flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping, you kind of start to have a bias towards it and start to hate it. It's an interesting idea for a Bowser board being in space instead of fire, so I do appreciate them trying something new with that. And the Bowser suit is pretty funny looking in this game. Bullet Bill Candy makes it look pretty funny. It's not a good board. And then they just, on top of that, not only is it linear, they made these little sections where you take like a random left or right, so sometimes you get screwed out of not having a candy, sometimes you'll go to like a random lucky space, but you're protected, maybe, from someone stealing from you. Sometimes they'll go towards you, sometimes they won't. I don't like it. I still like it more than Pyramid Park, just because I think Pyramid Park is boring. And that's it for the 8 boards. Oh, we're almost done with here, aren't we? DS is gonna be pretty quick because I haven't played I played DS a lot as a kid. I haven't really been playing it actively because, of course, you can't not play the DS game. But it still counts as Classic Mario Party. So we're gonna just quickly run through these. Wiggler's Garden. You know, very small, very solid. It's a cute board. I'd probably put it like right here. Good board, not my favorite in DS. Very basic. All the boards in DS are pretty small, so I'm trying to judge it based off of DS's specific board play rather than general Mario Party. You could buy multiple items at the shop at a time. That's just a problem with DS. But I like it. I like it. Toadette's Music Room. There's that gimmick where every time you buy a star, it's like Pagoda's Peak, they'll get more expensive, but it's a more traditional Star Hunt board. I'm only putting it at the bottom of B for the fact that I don't like the music. I probably like it more than, like... Yeah, I like it more than, Future Dream. But I think the music on Toadette's Music Room is really bad. It doesn't sound good. But it's still a solid board. Nice layout, gimmick's fun. The aesthetic's nice, being able to travel around the musical instrument. That's a plus for all the Mario Party DS boards. They all look really good because of the whole, like, we are small gimmick, and I think that's one of Mario Party's best gimmicks they've done so far is the tiny thing. DK Stone Statue. Same problem with Fair Square, where you could buy a shit ton of stars, but it's better because you can't just loop around the circle. Once you're at the start, once you're at the star space, you have to go back down. And there's a lot of traps that keep you from getting to the top. I'd put it right here, I'd say. And also the fact that you're climbing a statue that, like, is actually Donkey Kong that's frozen. That's fun. Kamek's Library is not good. I'd probably put it like... I'd put it below Toad's My Business, actually. So it's a half and half board, but you have the gimmick from Neon Heights, which, you know, is an S tier. I really like Neon Heights. I don't know what it is. I remember I played story mode of this recently, and I didn't enjoy it at all. I think it's because of the board being split in the halves. I don't really have much, unfortunately, to elaborate on why I don't like it. I just don't. I don't think it's that great. But Bowser's Pinball Machine is... I put it actually probably right above Inferno. Again, very compact, so you can do a lot of stuff. It's one of the most creative boards in the franchise. I love how it's a pinball machine. That is so fun for a Bowser board. A lot of fun happenings that fling you around all over the place. Again, it's very compact, so a lot of stars are in circulation. There's that little thing you can pass through to get all that money. That's pretty cool. There is like a little punishment zone on the left side. That's also fun. It's good. I'm glad Bowser has these kind of, you know, punishing sections, as long as, you know, the whole board isn't like that. It's very good. I wish I could elaborate more. I wish I played more DS. But unfortunately, I don't have enough experience with DS to be able to go through with that. And we are almost at the end here. Once we finish with these last boards, we'll go through and make sure everything's kind of like in the order I want it in each tier. And then I'm gonna average everything out with a sheet. So I think all of Super Mario Party's boards are pretty mediocre. I don't think any of them are that great. Honestly, like, Super in general, I think is very mediocre. But the board play is very boring in Super. The items aren't that interesting, and it becomes about farming gold pipes, as well as just getting allies and seeing who can roll the highest the whole game. On all these boards. Womp's Down by the Ruins is probably the best out of all of them. And I'll probably put it like at the... I would put it top of C, actually. I think the aesthetic's alright. I like the board layout. It's a little too easy to get gold pipes at the bottom left corner. I wish I could say more about the super boards, too, and I've played a lot of super. It's just... the more and more I play it, the more I'm just like, this is... an okay game. King Bomb Powder of Mind is also, like, C tier, but... I would put it above Boo's Haunted Bash. The layout is fine. It you know, makes it very easy to get around. I think that works pretty well with Super's mechanics. I like how they brought back the pseudo Waluigi's Island thing with the bomb in the middle, but it only takes half your coins. And I think it would be great if it took away all your coins in this game, honestly. The Bob-omb is there. What, minus his 1-year roll? Whatever. I'm just so unenthused about Super. Mega Fruit Paradise is not good. I said I like island hopping boards. Mega Fruit Paradise is the exception. Way too easy to farm golden pipes on the pineapple. The boo is kind of obnoxious because it's not always a boo. Well, it's Lakitu in this game, but sometimes, you know, sometimes it's Lakitu, sometimes it's a piranha plant. It's not fun to traverse around the board. If the sand bridge breaks, it's broken for like forever, and you're stuck there, unless you land on like the pipes. I don't really have much to say. Kamek's Tantalizing Tower, also just like, you roll the highest, you get to the end by a couple stars. I would put it like right there. And that looks like it. Before we do get into like the detailed stuff, I am gonna run and use the bathroom. So keep the chair occupied. And I'll be back in a few. I hope you kept the chair occupied. You better have. Alright. So, this is how the tier list kind of looking. And I think everything looks pretty okay. We are going to go bottom to top and just sort everything within their tiers. I do think F looks, you know, F I think is just about right here. Speaking of Mega Fruit, there it is. You're garbage. I have a personal grudge against Clockwork Castle here. Just nudging a couple things around. Put the Superstars Woody Woods a little higher, even though that's not great. Nah, I'd prefer Warriors Battle Cannon over Snowflake, honestly. I'm a big Warriors Battle Cannon advocate. I know it's a weird take, but... we have the pirate boards next to each other. And Chilly Water's actually above Womp's Domino. I'll probably, like, flip-flop on a couple of these some other time, but... honestly, B is looking stuff alright, except I like EGAD's a bit more than Spaceland. I like Creepy Cavern more than Grand Canal. Probably Widow's Garden. Yeah, I think Grand Canal would actually go about here. And then A should be exactly how I want it in A here. I think EGAD's turns its A spot, honestly. I know it has a big issue with the Orb Star, but it's a good board. It's a good strategic, just fun board. I like Spiny more than Inferno. Some Horrorland. Probably like Pagoda. I'd like Pagoda Peak more than Toy Dream. I actually like Toy Dream more. And then S tier is pretty much exactly how I'd put it. Except I put Koopas above Treetop. That looks almost exactly right. Bowser Land is absolutely my favorite board in the series. And then my least favorite, it's got to go to the old Pyramid Park. So that's it for the tier list. But we got one more thing to do, and that's to average out the scores here to see which Mario Party I think has the best boards. So we're gonna add a text source here real quick. And I'm just gonna write them all down. Oh, the text I know is a little big. We're gonna hide chat. Sorry chat, you can get out of here. I should actually put MPDS first. Super Mario Party, and Oh, hey Ben, how you doing? You just missed pretty much all the tier lists, but now I'm just going through and calculating the averages. I have Creepy Cavern in B. I think Creepy Cavern's pretty good. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's good. Like, you want to know, S is for my favorite of favorite, A is very good, B is good, C is okay. I'll play it. It doesn't blow me away, but it's okay. D, I don't think are very good. They have big problems with me, and then F, I hate. That's how I kind of... Yeah, you missed, like, the whole thing. I am going to be trying to upload my VOD onto YouTube, so you can watch it there. And I quickly just go through with a good old calculator. And how we're going to quantify this is each tier will earn a certain amount of points, and then we'll average it by the number of boards in that Mario Party game. So like in Mario Party 1, it'll be divided by 8. Most of the others, it'll be 6. And S gives them a whopping 5 points. A will give them 4. B will give them 3. This is not what I would rate them out of 5 stars. This is just for my number ranking. You're doing okay. That's good. That's good. I don't think MP3 stands on top, unfortunately. I love 3. But stuff like Deep Blooper C really hurts it. We'll start with MP1 here. We got one of them in S. Nothing in A. We got 2 of them in B. Then we have 3 in C. Two in D. Or I think it's just 1 in D and 1 in F. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that adds up. Do I have 8? It gives MP1 an average of 2.25, which, according to the numbers here, would be about a B. Would be about a C minus. I guess. Mario Party 2 is where the majority of my bias comes in. I don't think that's gonna carry it to the top of the top. Because I do like MP2's boards, but Pirate Land held it back a little bit. I don't think any of them are bad. That helps Mario Party 2 a lot, is I don't think any of the MP2 boards are bad outright. It's just like Pirate Land is average. We got good old Bowser Land in S. Horror Land in A. Spice Land in B. Pirate Land in C. Mystery Land in B. And Western Land in B. And that gives it a 3.33, it looks like. I'm gonna just get the letter rankings out of here. Because I'm just looking for what the highest average here is. Oh, what was that swing? Superstar is doing some good with your music, huh? Of course, we have Mario Party 3 with Spiny in A, or Waluigi's Island in S. Spiny in A. Creepy Cavern in B. Woody Woods in C. Deep Blooper in D. And Chilly Waters also in C. Which is a 2.83. Creepy should be an S+. Make your own tier list, nerd. Alright, MP4 is gonna... I already know by looking this is gonna rank pretty badly. I have nothing in A for... A, nothing above B for MP4 top tier creepy. Is creepy just your favorite board, Ben? Second tier the rest. Okay, nice tier list. Like I have Shy Guy plus Greedy Gala plus 2 plus 2 plus, I know Toads is in 1 and then Bowser's in 0. And we divide it up by 6. Is a piss poor 1.83. If you're unbiased by runs, usually go... Ah, okay. I mean... Yeah, that's why Deep Blooper C ranks so low for me, is I'm just biased because of my speedruns. Which, you know, bias does that to you. MP4. Yeah, MP4 doesn't have good boards. I feel like it's gonna fare better than Super Mario Party, though. We got 5. Nothing in S, but I got 2 in A. With Toy and Pirate. Then I have... Undersea plus Future in B. Am I missing anything? No, I don't. I have Rainbow, then I have Sweet, and Bowser Nightmare. That gives it a very weird number. I think MP6 did pretty dang well. There's Treetop, Egads, did I put anything in B for? No, actually, I think the gimmicky boards are gonna hold back 6 here. So we got Snowflake of a 2, Castaway of a 2, Fair Square of a 1, and Clockwork of a 1. That isn't that bad. It's like the standard boards in EP6 I think are really good, but the gimmicky ones are not that good. You don't like Chili mostly because of my runs. That's fair. That is fair. That's the snowballs are very annoying. I feel like 7 might end up winning here. We got Neon Heights in S. Inferno and Pagoda in A. Grand Canal. Windmillville, Pyramid Park. Oh no, it looks like so far my MP2 bias is coming into play here. But MP7's ranking video. I should rank the boards by the average length of the board? Ooh, that'd be interesting. Like how long they are in speedruns. Yeah, see which one's less consistent. Oh, that'd be really cool. I think for that, I feel like Spiny... No. I think Woody Woods would be the fastest, or Waluigi's Islands. I feel like Waluigi's be less consistent, but for some reason I feel like Woody Woods would be the fastest because the board events aren't as obnoxious there. Spiney's consistent even away from the circle in last 5. Yeah. Or just get out of the circle. Get everyone out of the circle. You good. Oh wow, hey, we're starting a round of Mario Party, Ben. These CPUs can get stuck in the circle, it's annoying, but it isn't the worst thing. Yeah. And after this, I'm just gonna sort these in order so I can objectively show what my favorite Mario Party board selection is. Deep Bloober Sea is the less... That's where I lose most of my runs, is Deep Bloober Sea. At least when I did do runs. Super Mario Party is not gonna do well. I didn't put anything above C. Ooh, if it rated worse than Mario Party 2 or 4. Because at least 4 has stuff like Shy Guy's Jungle Jam and Gooba's Great Gala. Super Mario Party has nothing. It's the most consistent in matters of being slow. True. Oh my god. So true. And Superstars is last. 3 plus 3 plus 3. I have most of Superstars boards in 3, but Woody Woods in D. But that still gives it a good average. There it is! Alright, so using the numbers that I just put on the side here to help average it out, Mario Party 2 does win. With a nice 3.3 here. Second up is Mario Party 7 with 3, which I'm actually not surprised about. I think 7 has a spectacular selection of boards. The only thing that held it back, I think, for being number 1 was Pyramid Park. Yep. Mario Party 3 and Mario Party 8 are tied. Again, kind of expecting that. I think 3 has really high highs with Spiny and Waluigi, kind of mediocre lows with Deep Bloober, and then Mario Party 8 has a lot of really good boards. I think Koopa, King Boo, Treetop, Shy Guy, all good. Goombas is okay. The only thing that sucks on that board is the Bowser board. It sucks. It's really bad. I hate it. I spent 30 minutes on that section in Octathlon. Then after that, looks like it would be Mario Party DS and Mario Party Superstars tied with 2.6. Not surprised about those either. I think all the Superstars remakes are pretty good. Outside of Woody, they're all... None of them are great, but they're all good. And then the only outlier is Woody. And then DS has a good selection of boards. Bowser's Pinball Machine is really cool. After that, Mario Party 6 probably would have been... Actually, no, Mario Party 5. A little bit biased because I like 5 a lot. Toy Dream and Pirate are really good. It does have some pretty bad boards at the bottom here with, like, you know, Bowser Nightmare. It's pretty okay boards like Rainbow Dream, but Pirate and I wouldn't hate playing on most of the boards in 5, except maybe Bowser Nightmare. So that's good. Mario Party 6 would have probably been higher if the gimmicky boards were better. I think Treetop is amazing. EGAD's really good, but the rest of the gimmick boards hold it back, and I think the gimmicks are done a lot better in Mario Party 7. Then after 6, Mario Party 4. I think the boards are very bad in 4. I think the board play is very boring in 4. The items are not very good in 4. But I'm surprised it outranks Super Mario Party. Because I actually kind of liked Womp Stompin' Ruins. But, like, looking at the boards when I'm ranking them here, they're all just boring. And they all revolve around the same strategy, just go. Get allies. Farm the gold pipes. 4 was saved with Jungle Jam and Greedy Gallo. If it weren't for those two boards, I'd probably rank it a lot lower. Like, if Greedy Gallo wasn't so, like, whimsical and fun. Yeah. Well, that's looking to be, the tier list here. I'm going to go ahead and save that onto my computer. Actually, I should probably make a tier maker tier. It was nice to just have this nice little chill stream today. I just needed something to relax. I didn't really want to do anything intense. Alright. With that, stream is over. We got the definitive ranking here with, obviously, Mario Party 2 at the top. I'm not surprised by that at all. 2 is my favorite game in the series, so I'm not surprised that it came out on top. Even stuff like Western Land, which really frustrates me. It's a good board. That's what, that's what helped it. And then Mario Party, Super Mario Party's at the bottom, unfortunately. Makes me sad though, because it was a good game. It was a good game, but it just got old, stale. Item play isn't very interesting. Boards are very boring, in my opinion. Minigames are really good in Super, though. That's gonna be it. Thank you for coming. We're gonna go send a raid to someone. I'm just checking my phone here to see who we can raid. Probably gonna be Level Up for Charity, but I want to see if there's anyone else who we can raid off to this lovely beat here. Yeah, I'm just gonna send you guys to Level Up for Charity. I should hopefully be uploading this onto YouTube. No guarantees that I will, but I will save the VOD, upload it to my YouTube channel, !YouTube. I'm working on a Drunk Mario Party video as well. We're almost done. I'm almost done getting the clips from that, and then I can move on to the main editing phase. Should be back out in April. Like, 99% chance it's gonna be out in April. That. Let's say goodbye. Bye.